So then there's this idea of contempt, and contempt is like coming across like with disrespect and hatred, actually. Like, I really don't like how you are. I really don't like what you're doing. And it is a superiority factor in it, that you are doing, that the other person is doing something wrong and you're right. And it's really hard for the other person to hear that without feeling like, I don't want to be in this conversation. So how do you do this? You do it over time. So let's say you were in a really bad state and you went into your response to another person's behavior with contempt, disrespect, your superior. They're terrible and what they're doing is just so inconsiderate, and they're lazy and they're dumb and whatever else you might call them. So part of that is to be able to repair that. There has to be a culture of appreciation. Everybody wants to be appreciated for what they do and their contributions and how they contribute to a relationship. So to remember that if you want to build your relationship strong, you need to make sure that there's some positive praising that goes on in your conversation, that it's not all that your expectation about how the other person behaves is met without actually talking about some of the things that you appreciate about them. I think about this concept of transactional versus relational relationships. And a lot of people feel like things need to be transactional. Like, you do this for me, I do that for you. I extend that even further to say, like, that's that person's love language, their acts of service. And that's what they like to have done back to them. But relational is more like, I don't need to have you do anything for me or me do anything for you. I just like being and spending time with you, however we do that. And then we can negotiate like how we do stuff for each other or what we do together and how we both contribute. So going a little bit on a tangent to just talk about different ways and expectations that people have in relationship. But if you wanted to start building a culture where there isn't contempt and appreciation, you have to start talking about what you appreciate about the other person. And instead of contempt, if you were able to bring in some appreciation into a statement like, hey, I really appreciate that you have been caring about me and telling me that you care about me, or bringing me things to eat, or being cheerful at the end of the day. I really appreciate it. And I also feel like sometimes I feel let down, and I really want to make sure that we're on the same page about how we tend to the house or something like that, so that the person gets to win, because we all know we don't have just one aspect of our personality. There's many aspects and there's many layers in relationship. As we know, if you look around, you might have some friends that you're able to be with in different ways and other friends that you never be with in those ways. But some of it is to just acknowledge what it is that you like about the person. That makes them be able to hear the other parts in ways that there's nothing but the bad parts that you see in them, which would be hard to have a relationship with someone who you feel like thinks about you like that.